First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the ESS horizon, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the starfield ahead. After months of travel beyond known space, the crew was eager for discovery. "Captain, I'm picking up an anomalous reading," Lieutenant Zhang announced from his station, his voice tinged with excitement. "It doesn't match any known stellar phenomena." Reyes strode to Zhang's console, her heart racing. "Show me." A holographic display flickered to life, revealing a strange distortion in space-time. As they watched, the distortion grew, swirling like a whirlpool among the stars. "My God," Reyes breathed. "Is that what I think it is?" Before Zhang could respond, a massive ship emerged from the vortex. Its sleek, silver hull gleamed in the light of distant stars, dwarfing the horizon. "All hands, battle stations," Reyes ordered, her voice calm despite the adrenaline surging through her veins. "But hold fire unless I give the command." Tense minutes passed as the alien vessel approached. The bridge crew held their breath, fingers hovering over controls, ready for anything. A melodic chime echoed through the bridge, startling everyone. "Captain," the communications officer reported, "we're receiving a transmission. It's in English." Reyes nodded, her expression a mixture of wonder and apprehension. "Put it through." A smooth, androgynous voice filled the bridge. "Greetings, humans of the ESS horizon. We are the Zarkoni. We come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic relations." The crew exchanged looks of astonishment. First contact, and the aliens already spoke their language. Reyes cleared her throat. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the Earth Spaceship Horizon. We welcome peaceful contact. May I ask how you know our language?" A light chuckle came through the speakers. "We've been observing your civilization for some time, Captain. Your broadcast transmissions have been most informative. We believe the time is right for official first contact." Over the next few hours, the Zarkoni explained their advanced civilization and their role as galactic peacekeepers. They invited a delegation from the horizon to board their ship for further discussions. Reyes led the small team, consisting of herself, Dr. Aisha Patel, the ship's xenobiologist, and Commander John Chen, her first officer. As they stepped onto the Zarkoni vessel, they were awestruck by the alien technology surrounding them. The Zarkoni themselves were a sight to behold. Tall, slender beings with iridescent skin and large, expressive eyes, they moved with a grace that seemed almost supernatural. Their leader, introduced as High Emissary Zalem, greeted the humans warmly. "Welcome aboard the Stellar Harmony. We have much to discuss." In a vast chamber filled with holographic displays, Zalem explained the galactic political landscape. Humanity, it seemed, was a late arrival to a complex interstellar community. "Your species has great potential," Zalem said, gesturing to a display showing Earth's rapid technological progress. "We believe you could become valuable allies in maintaining peace across the galaxy." Dr. Patel, her scientific curiosity piqued, asked, "You mentioned other civilizations. How many are there? And how do they view humanity?" Zalem's expression turned serious. "There are dozens of spacefaring civilizations, each with their own agendas. Some, like us, seek peace and cooperation. Others," the emissary paused, choosing words carefully, "others may see your rapid advancement as a potential threat." Commander Chen frowned. "A threat? We've barely left our own solar system." "True," Zalem acknowledged, "but your rate of progress is unprecedented. It has not gone unnoticed." As the discussions continued, Reyes found herself both excited and concerned. The galaxy was far more complex and potentially dangerous than they had imagined. Back on the horizon, Reyes briefed her crew on the situation. "The Zarkoni have offered to share some of their technology with us to help ease our transition into the galactic community. However, they've warned that not all alien races will welcome our emergence onto the cosmic stage." "So what do we do, Captain?" Zhang asked, voicing the question on everyone's mind. Rise squared her shoulders. We learn, we adapt, and we prepare. Humanity has faced challenges before. This is just on a much larger scale. Over the next few weeks, the crew of the Horizon worked closely with the Zarkoni, absorbing knowledge about advanced propulsion systems, energy generation, and galactic diplomacy. The aliens seemed genuinely impressed by humanity's quick grasp of complex concepts. Dr. Patel spent countless hours in the Zarkoni labs, marveling at their bioengineering capabilities. Their medical technology is centuries beyond ours, she reported excitedly during a briefing. They can cure diseases we thought were untreatable, regrow lost limbs, even extend lifespans significantly. Commander Chen, however, focused on understanding the potential threats. The Zarkoni have been vague about these other races that might see us as a threat. I think we need more concrete information. Reyes nodded, sharing his concern. During their next meeting with Zellum, she pressed the issue. High Emissary, we appreciate your guidance, but we need to know more about these potential adversaries. How can we prepare if we don't know what we're up against? Zellum's large eyes blinked slowly. Your directness is refreshing, Captain. Very well. The race you should be most concerned about is the Vexthor Imperium. They are a militant species that values strength above all else. They'd been watching your progress with interest. Reyes felt a chill run down her spine. Have they made any moves against other emerging civilizations? They have, Zellum confirmed grimly. The Vexthor believe that only the strong deserve to exist among the stars. They see it as their duty to test new races. The implications hung heavy in the air. Humanity might soon face a trial by fire on a cosmic scale. As the Horizon prepared to return to Earth with their groundbreaking news and new technology, Reyes couldn't shake a sense of foreboding. They were stepping onto a much larger stage, filled with wonders and perils beyond imagination. In her final meeting with Zellum, Reyes expressed her mixed feelings. We're grateful for your help and guidance, High Emissary. But I can't help feeling we're not fully prepared for what's out there. Zellum placed a slender hand on Reyes' shoulder, the touch sending a slight tingle through her. No race is ever fully prepared, Elena. But from what we've seen of humanity, you have a remarkable ability to adapt and overcome. That will serve you well in the challenges ahead. As the Horizon disengaged from the stellar harmony, ready to make the journey home, Reyes addressed her crew. What we've learned and experienced here will change the course of human history. We carry with us knowledge that will propel our civilization forward by centuries. But we also carry a warning. The galaxy is vast and full of wonders, but it's not always a friendly place. She paused, looking at each crew member in turn. We have a responsibility to prepare humanity for both the opportunities and the dangers that lie ahead. The decisions we make in the coming months and years will shape the future of our entire species. Commander Chen spoke up, his voice firm with resolve. Whatever challenges we face, Captain, we'll face them together. Humanity has come too far to turn back now. Reyes nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. Well said, Commander. Helm, set a course for Earth. It's time to bring our people into the galactic age. As the Horizon engaged its engines, leaving behind the Zarkoni ship and venturing into the unknown, the crew couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were carrying the future of humanity with them, a future filled with infinite possibilities and unfathomable risks. Little did they know that light years away, in a region of space yet unexplored by humans, the Vexthor Imperium was already planning their next move. The game of cosmic chess had begun, and humanity was about to become a major player whether they were ready or not. The journey back to Earth was filled with intense preparation. Every member of the crew worked tirelessly to compile and organize the vast amount of information they had received from the Zarkoni. Dr. Patel and her team pored over the medical and biological data, while the engineering crew studied the advanced technology specs they had been given. Captain Rice spent much of her time drafting reports and preparing for the barrage of questions she knew would come once they reached Earth. The weight of their discovery pressed heavily on her shoulders. How do you tell humanity that they are not alone in the universe, and that their very existence might soon be challenged by an alien force? As they approached the outskirts of the solar system, Reyes gathered her senior staff for a final briefing. "Once we make contact with Earth, everything changes," she said, her voice steady, but tinged with the gravity of the situation. "We need to be prepared for every possible reaction: excitement, fear, disbelief. Our job is to present the facts calmly and clearly, and to emphasize both the opportunities and the risks we now face." Commander Chen nodded in agreement. "We should also be prepared for the possibility that not everyone will believe us at first. This is going to shake the foundations of human society." "Agreed," Reyes replied. "That's why we'll transmit some of the Zarkoni data ahead of our arrival. Give the bigwigs on Earth a chance to start processing this before we get there." As the familiar blue marble of Earth came into view, a hush fell over the bridge. They were bringing home news that would forever change the course of human history. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity's next great adventure was about to begin. Rising tensions. The news of first contact spread across Earth like wildfire. Within days of the Horizon's return, the entire planet was abuzz with excitement, fear, and endless speculation. Governments scrambled to form new agencies and committees to deal with the implications of alien contact, while the scientific community dove headfirst into the wealth of new data. Captain Alina Reyes found herself at the center of a whirlwind of debriefings, interviews, and high-level meetings. She had expected skepticism, but the evidence brought back by the Horizon was irrefutable. The existence of the Zarkoni and their advanced technology couldn't be denied. 6 months after their return, Reyes stood before the newly formed United Earth Council, a body hastily assembled to coordinate humanity's response to their new galactic reality. "The Zarkoni technology has already revolutionized several fields," Reyes explained, gesturing to a holographic display. "Our medical capabilities have advanced by decades, if not centuries. Clean energy production has increased tenfold, and our space exploration capabilities, well, they're beyond anything we could have imagined a year ago." A council member leaned forward, her expression grave. "And what of these? Vexthor, Captain. How real is the threat they pose?" Reyes took a deep breath. "Based on the information provided by the Zarkoni, the threat is very real. The Vexthor Imperium has a history of challenging emerging civilizations, often through direct military action. We need to be prepared." The room erupted in murmurs of concern. Another council member spoke up. "But surely the Zarkoni would help us if we were attacked. They seem to value peace and cooperation." Reyes hesitated. "The Zarkoni have made it clear that while they're willing to share technology and knowledge, they have a policy of non-intervention in direct conflicts. We can't rely on them to fight our battles." As humanity grappled with its new reality, changes were happening at an unprecedented pace. The first human colony on Mars, once a distant dream, became a reality within a year thanks to Zarkoni terraforming technology. The asteroid belt was quickly becoming a hub of mining activity, fueled by new energy sources and propulsion systems. But not everyone was thrilled with the rapid changes. Protests erupted in cities around the world, with some fearing the loss of human identity in the face of alien influence. Others warned of the dangers of advancing too quickly without fully understanding the technologies they were adopting. Dr. Aisha Patel, now heading Earth's premier xenobiology research center, found herself working around the clock to unlock the secrets of alien biology. "The potential for medical breakthroughs is staggering," she explained during a global science conference. "But we need to proceed carefully. We're dealing with completely alien physiologies here." Meanwhile, Commander John Chen had been promoted to admiral and tasked with overseeing the rapid expansion of Earth's space fleet. The shipyards in Earth orbit were bustling with activity, constructing vessels that incorporated Zarkoni technology. "We're not building a war fleet," Chen insisted in a press conference, "but we need to be prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. The galaxy is a big place, and not everyone out there might have our best interests at heart." As Earth's presence in space grew, so did encounters with other alien races. Most were peaceful, if cautious, exchanges. Trade agreements were established, cultural information was shared, and humanity began to find its footing in the galactic community. But tensions were simmering beneath the surface. Reports began to trickle in of Vex-Thor ships being spotted near the edges of human-controlled space. They never engaged directly, but their presence was a constant reminder of the potential threat looming on the horizon. 2 years after first contact, Alina Reyes, now an admiral herself, stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, Earth's first capital ship built with integrated alien technology. As they patrolled the outer reaches of the solar system, a transmission came through. "Admiral," the communications officer called out, "we're receiving a message. It's from a Vex-Thor ship." Reyes felt her heart rate quicken. "On screen," she ordered, keeping her voice steady. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a hulking reptilian figure. The Vex-Thor's scales gleamed metallic in the light, and its yellow eyes seemed to bore into Reyes. "Humans," the alien growled, its voice translated by the ship's advanced systems. "You have expanded quickly. Too quickly. The Vex-Thor Imperium does not tolerate potential rivals in our sphere of influence." Reyes stood tall, meeting the alien's gaze. "We have no quarrel with the Vex-Thor Imperium. We seek only to explore and establish peaceful relations with other civilizations." The Vex-Thor's mouth twisted into what might have been a sneer. "Peace is for the weak. Strength is the only currency that matters in this galaxy. You will be tested, humans. Prepare yourselves." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. "Battle stations," Reyes ordered, breaking the tension. "And get me Earth Command. We need to warn them." As alarms blared throughout the ship, Reyes couldn't help but think of Zalam's words from years ago. The galaxy was indeed vast and full of wonders, but it was also a place of great danger. Humanity had come so far in such a short time, but would it be enough to face what was coming? The next few months saw a flurry of activity across human-controlled space. The United Earth Council declared a state of high alert, accelerating the production of defensive systems and ships. Training programs were intensified, and every scrap of information about Vex-Thor tactics and technology was scrutinized. Despite the rising tensions, life continued. Human colonies on Mars and several asteroids continued to grow. Scientific breakthroughs were announced almost daily, as humanity's understanding of the universe expanded exponentially. Admiral Reyes found herself splitting her time between diplomatic missions to other alien races and overseeing the strengthening of Earth's defenses. The Zarkoni, true to their word, remained neutral but continued to provide technological insights. During a rare moment of quiet, Reyes stood in her office on the lunar base, staring out at the Earth hanging in the black sky. Admiral Chen entered, his face grim. "Alina," he said, foregoing formalities, "we've lost contact with our outpost on Ganymede." Reyes felt a chill run down her spine. "The Vex-Thor." Chen nodded. "It looks that way. No distress call, no warning, just silence." As they quickly made their way to the command center, Reyes couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Humanity's trial by fire was about to begin, ready or not. Unexpected alliance. The loss of the Ganymede outpost sent shockwaves through the human colonies. What had been a distant threat suddenly became a terrifying reality. The United Earth Council convened an emergency session, broadcast live across all human settlements. Admiral Reyes stood before the council, her face set in grim determination. "The Vex-Thor have made their first move," she announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We must assume this is only the beginning of a larger offensive." The council chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices, fear and anger permeating the air. When order was finally restored, The council president spoke. "What are our options, Admiral?" Reyes activated a holographic display of the solar system. "We've mobilized our fleet to create a defensive perimeter around our core worlds. Mars, the Moon, and Earth are our priorities. We're also dispatching rapid response teams to our outer colonies and outposts." Admiral Chen stepped forward. "Our intelligence suggests the Vex Thor are massing their forces just beyond Pluto's orbit. They're likely preparing for a full-scale invasion." A council member's voice quavered as she asked, "Have we reached out to the Zarkoni for assistance?" Reyes and Chen exchanged a glance. "We have," Reyes replied, unable to keep a note of disappointment from her voice. "They've reiterated their policy of non-intervention. They'll continue to provide technological support, but they won't engage in direct combat." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity was on its own against a vastly superior force. As the meeting concluded, Reyes found herself in a private conference with Dr. Aisha Patel, now the head of Earth's Xenotechnology Division. "Please tell me you have good news, Aisha," Reyes said, the weight of command heavy on her shoulders. Patel's eyes gleamed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "We've made a breakthrough in understanding Vex Thor shield technology. It's not much, but it might give us an edge." Reyes leaned forward, hope kindling in her chest. "Tell me everything." As Patel explained the intricacies of the new technology, alarms blared throughout the facility. Chen burst into the room, his face ashen. "They're here. The Vex Thor fleet has entered the solar system." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Reyes found herself aboard the UES Defiant, coordinating Earth's defense from the front lines. The vastness of space was alight with weapons fire as human ships clashed with the Vex Thor fleet. Despite their technological advancements, humanity was clearly outmatched. Vex Thor ships tore through the outer defensive lines, their weapon systems far more advanced than anything Earth had encountered before. As the battle raged, Reyes received an unexpected transmission. "Admiral," the communications officer called out, "we're receiving a message from a Zarkoni ship." Reyes felt a surge of hope. "Put it through." The familiar face of High Emissary Zalem appeared on screen. "Captain, forgive me, Admiral Reyes. We've been monitoring the situation. The Vex Thor's aggression has exceeded even our expectations." Reyes couldn't keep the frustration from her voice. "We could use some help out here, Emissary. Your non-intervention policy is going to get us all killed." Zalem's expression was pained. "Our governing council is deadlocked. But I cannot stand by and watch this happen. A small contingent of our ships is en route to your position. We're not supposed to be here, but we'll do what we can." Relief washed over Reyes. "Thank you, Zalem. We'll take all the help we can get." As the sleek Zarkoni ships joined the fray, the tide of battle began to shift. Their advanced weapons and shields provided a much-needed boost to the beleaguered human fleet. But the Vex Thor were relentless. For every ship they lost, two more seemed to take its place. The battle raged across the solar system, from the rings of Saturn to the orbit of Mars. On Earth, civilians huddled in shelters, watching with bated breath as humanity fought for its very survival. The night sky, once a canvas of peaceful stars, now flickered with the distant flashes of space combat. Aboard the Defiant, Reyes and her crew fought with everything they had. The ship shuddered under repeated impacts, its shields straining to the breaking point. "Admiral," Chen called out, his voice tight with tension, "we can't hold them much longer. Our outer colonies are falling one by one." Reyes gripped the command chair, her mind racing. They needed a game-changer, something the Vex Thor wouldn't expect. Suddenly, Dr. Patel's voice came through the comm system. "Admiral, we've done it. We've managed to modify the Zarkoni shield technology. We can create a feedback loop in the Vex Thor shields, but we'll need to get close, dangerously close." Reyes didn't hesitate. "Transmit the specs to the entire fleet. All ships, This is Admiral Reyes. Prepare for close quarters engagement. We're taking the fight to them." The human fleet, bolstered by their Zarkani allies, surged forward. Ships darted between the lumbering Vex-Thor vessels, unleashing concentrated bursts of energy at point-blank range. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, one by one, Vex-Thor ships began to falter. Their shields collapsed in on themselves, leaving the vessels vulnerable to follow-up attacks. The momentum of battle shifted dramatically. The Vex-Thor, caught off guard by this unexpected tactic, began to fall back. As the last of the invading ships retreated from the solar system, a cheer went up across the human fleet. They had done it. Against all odds, humanity had stood its ground. But Reyes knew this was far from over. As she looked out at the debris-strewn space around them, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the first round of a much longer fight. The Vex-Thor would be back, and next time, they'd be prepared for humanity's ingenuity. The real test was yet to come. Human ingenuity unleashed. In the aftermath of the Vex-Thor's initial assault, Earth and its colonies were left reeling. The victory had come at a heavy cost. Thousands of lives lost, entire outposts destroyed, and a stark realization of just how vulnerable humanity truly was in the grand cosmic arena. Admiral Elena Reyes stood before a holographic display of the solar system, studying the damage reports flooding in from across human space. The room was filled with a tense silence, broken only by the soft beeping of consoles and hushed conversations. "They'll be back," Admiral Chen said, voicing the thought on everyone's mind. "And next time, they won't underestimate us." Reyes nodded grimly. "Which means we need to be ready. We caught them off guard this time, but we won't have that advantage again." Dr. Aisha Patel, who had been poring over data from the battle, looked up. "The good news is we've learned a lot from this encounter. The bad news? So have they." The next few months saw a flurry of activity across human space. The shipyards orbiting Earth and Mars worked around the clock, not just repairing damaged vessels, but implementing upgrades based on what they'd learned from the battle. Dr. Patel and her team worked tirelessly to refine their understanding of Vex-Thor technology, searching for any advantage they could find. But perhaps the most significant development came from an unexpected source. As news of the battle spread throughout the galaxy, other alien races began to take notice of humanity's resilience. Trade delegations arrived from distant star systems, offering technology exchanges and alliance proposals. Reyes found herself spending more time in diplomatic meetings than on the bridge of a ship. "We need allies," she explained to the United Earth Council. "The Vex-Thor aren't just a threat to us. They're a threat to galactic stability. We need to build a coalition." As humanity's influence grew, so did its technological capabilities. The integration of knowledge from multiple alien races led to breakthroughs that would have been unimaginable just a few years earlier. One day, as Reyes was reviewing the latest fleet deployment plans, Dr. Patel burst into her office, eyes wide with excitement. "We've done it, Elena. We've cracked their communication encryption." Reyes leaned forward, heart racing. "You mean we can listen in on Vex-Thor transmissions?" Patel nodded vigorously. "Not just listen. We can interfere. Imagine being able to disrupt their fleet coordination in the middle of a battle." It was a game changer, but Reyes knew they had to be careful. "We can't let them know we have this capability. We'll need to use it sparingly, at just the right moment." As the months wore on, the tension across human space was palpable. Everyone knew the Vex-Thor would return. It was just a question of when and where they would strike. The answer came sooner than anyone had hoped. 18 months after the first invasion, long-range sensors detected a massive Vex-Thor fleet assembling just beyond the Kuiper Belt. Reyes stood on the bridge of the newly commissioned UES Intrepid, Earth's most advanced warship to date. Around her, a fleet of human and allied alien vessels prepared for the coming storm. "All ships, this is Admiral Reyes." She broadcast across the fleet. "We've trained for this. We've prepared for this. The Vexthor think they know what we're capable of, but they have no idea. Today, we show them the true strength of unity and innovation. Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for the right of all species to exist free from tyranny. As the Vexthor fleet entered the solar system, they found not a scattered, demoralized enemy, but a well-prepared and determined alliance. The battle that ensued was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Human ships darted between lumbering Vexthor cruisers, their new phasing technology allowing them to briefly shift out of normal space to avoid enemy fire. Zarkona vessels, now fully committed to the fight, provided long-range support with weapons that bent the very fabric of spacetime. But the true surprise came when the Vexthor attempted to coordinate a massive, synchronized attack. At a crucial moment, their communication networks erupted into chaos. Ships veered off course, weapons misfired, and their carefully planned assault fell apart. In the command center of the Intrepid, Dr. Patil allowed herself a small smile. "The encryption breaker worked perfectly," she said. "They have no idea what hit them." The battle raged for days, spreading across the entire solar system. Earth's colonies, once easy targets, now bristled with defensive installations that repelled wave after wave of Vexthor attacks. As the tide of battle turned decisively in humanity's favor, Reyes received an unexpected transmission. The face of the Vexthor commander appeared on screen, its reptilian features twisted in a mixture of rage and disbelief. "How?" it snarled. "How have you done this? You were nothing but primitives." Reyes met its gaze steadily. "You made a crucial mistake. You assumed that because we were young, we were weak. But our youth is our strength. We adapt, we innovate, and we don't stand alone." The Vexthor commander's eyes narrowed. "This isn't over, human. We will return. And next time." "There won't be a next time," Reyes interrupted. "You're done here. Leave our space now, or what's left of your fleet won't make it home to tell the tale." As the remnants of the Vexthor armada retreated, a cheer went up across the human fleet. They had done it. Not just survived, but triumphed. But Reyes knew that this victory, monumental as it was, marked not an end, but a beginning. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage. The real challenge now would be navigating the complex web of alliances, rivalries, and politics that came with being a major power in the cosmos. As she looked out at the star-filled expanse before her, Reyes couldn't help but smile. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she was certain of one thing: humanity was ready to face them. Galactic paradigm shift. In the years following the decisive victory over the Vexthor, the galaxy experienced a seismic shift in its political and social landscape. Humanity, once considered a primitive species barely worth noticing, had become a major player on the cosmic stage almost overnight. Admiral Elena Reyes found herself at the center of this new galactic order. As she stood before the newly formed Galactic Council, a body representing dozens of spacefaring civilizations, she couldn't help but reflect on how far they'd come in such a short time. The defeat of the Vexthor Imperium has opened up new possibilities for all of us. Reyes addressed the assembled alien delegates, but it has also shown us the importance of cooperation and mutual understanding. We must use this opportunity to build a more stable and prosperous galaxy for all species. The council chamber, a vast hall on a neutral space station, buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The fall of the Vexthor had left a power vacuum, and everyone was eager to see how it would be filled. High Emissary Zalem, now a close ally of humanity, spoke up. "The humans have demonstrated not just military prowess, but a remarkable ability to adapt and innovate. We believe they have much to offer our galactic community." Not everyone was as enthusiastic. A representative from a race known as the Krell, silicon-based beings from a heavy-gravity world, leaned forward. "The humans achieved their victory through deception and trickery. How can we trust a species that rose to power so quickly?" Reyes met the Krell's gaze steadily. We used every tool at our disposal to defend not just ourselves, but the freedom of all species threatened by the Vexthor. Our methods may have been unconventional, but our goals were, and remain, the preservation of peace and the right of all sentient beings to self-determination. As the debate raged on, Dr. Aisha Patel and Admiral John Chen were overseeing a very different kind of meeting back on Earth. Representatives from dozens of alien races had gathered for the first galactic scientific and cultural exchange. The key to our survival and prosperity lies not just in military strength, Patel explained to the assembled crowd, but in our ability to learn from each other. Every species here has unique insights, technologies, and cultural perspectives that can benefit us all. The exchange was a whirlwind of activity. Alien scientists marveled at humanity's quantum computing advancements, while human artists found themselves inspired by extraterrestrial music and visual arts. It was a celebration of diversity and shared knowledge on an unprecedented scale. Meanwhile, in the outer reaches of the solar system, the remnants of the Vexthor fleet limped home. Their once mighty empire was in shambles, their belief in their own superiority shattered by the upstart humans and their allies. On their homeworld, a revolution was brewing. Younger Vexthor, inspired by the unity they had witnessed in the alliance that defeated them, began to question the militaristic ideology that had defined their society for millennia. Back in the Galactic Council, decisions were being made that would shape the future of interstellar relations for generations to come. A new charter was drawn up, emphasizing cooperation, scientific exchange, and mutual defense. Humanity, represented by Reyes, found itself in the unique position of being both a newcomer and a major influence. Their experiences, from first contact to defending against invasion, provided valuable insights into integrating new species into the galactic community. As the council session drew to a close, a new era of galactic politics was dawning. The old power structures had been upended, replaced by a more dynamic, inclusive system that valued innovation and adaptability over tradition and brute force. Reyes, finally finding a moment of quiet, stood by a viewport looking out at the vast expanse of space. Admiral Chen joined her, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Did you ever imagine we'd end up here?" he asked, gesturing at the alien ships and space stations visible in the distance. Reyes shook her head, a small smile playing on her lips. "Never in my wildest dreams. When we first encountered the Zarkoni, I thought we were in over our heads. Now look at us, helping to reshape the entire galaxy." Chen nodded, his expression turning serious. "It's an enormous responsibility. The decisions we make now will affect countless species across thousands of worlds." "True," Reyes agreed, "but I think we're up to the challenge. If there's one thing humans excel at, it's adapting to new situations." As they stood there, contemplating the future, a message came through from Earth. Dr. Patel's excited voice filled the room. "Elena, John, you won't believe this. We've just had a breakthrough in faster-than-light communication. This could revolutionize everything, from space travel to galactic governance." Reyes and Chen exchanged a look, equal parts excitement and determination in their eyes. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was at the forefront of that change. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, not just as a species, but as part of a greater galactic community. As new alliances were forged, technologies shared, and cultural barriers broken down, the galaxy entered a new age of exploration and cooperation. The defeat of the Vexthor had opened the door to possibilities that were once unimaginable. And at the heart of it all was humanity, young, adaptable, and full of potential. They had faced their trial by fire and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would they. The story of humanity's rise from an isolated species to a major galactic power would be told and retold across countless worlds for generations to come. It was a testament to the power of unity, innovation, and the indomitable spirit of those who dare to reach for the stars. As Reyes looked out at the star-filled sky, She knew that their greatest adventures were still to come. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, and humanity was ready to explore it all.